Good morning students, Saira. Welcome back to the Maths online classes. Let's continue with chapter 5, Understanding Elementary Shapes. This is part 5 of the chapter. Children, in our previous sessions, we learned how to identify different angles like right angles, straight angles, complete angles, acute, obtuse or reflex angles. In today's session, we will learn how to actually find the measures of the angles. Now children, you have an instrument like this in your instrument box. This is called a protractor, and the protractor is used to measure the angles. In your protractor, you have a curved edge. You have a curved edge like this and a straight edge. The curved edge of the protractor is divided into 180 equal parts, and each part is called a degree. The protractor has two scales, the outer scale and the inner scale. The outer scale starts from 0 on the left and ends at 180 degree on the right. The inner scale starts at 0 on the right and ends at 180 degree on the left. Now, if we have an angle which is opening from the left, like if we have an angle like this, then we use the outer scale to measure the angle. Okay, and if you have an angle which is opening from the right, like this, then we use the inner scale. This is called the center point of the protractor, which we can name as M. The line which joins 0 of the outer scale and the 0 of the inner scale on the right side is called the zero line. Now, how do we measure an angle? Let's take for example an angle ABC. How do we measure this? For measuring this angle, what we do, we keep the center point of the protractor on the vertex B of the angle, and we make sure that the arm BC, this arm of the angle, coincides with the zero line of the protractor, and the mark shown by this arm or ray of the angle AB is the measurement of the angle. Now let's start solving the problems of exercise 5.1. Question 1. What is the measure of a right angle? A right angle is equal to 90 degree and a straight angle, it is equal to 180 degree. Question 2. Say true or false. The measure of an acute angle is less than 90 degree. It is true. B. The measure of an obtuse angle is less than 90 degree. No, it is false. The measure of an obtuse angle is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. C. The measure of a reflex angle is more than 180 degree. Yes, it is true. D. The measure of one complete revolution or one complete angle is 360 degree. Yes, true. E. If measure of angle A is 53 degree and if measure of angle B is 35 degree, then measure of angle A is greater than measure of angle B. Yes, it is true, because 53 is more than 35. So measure of angle A will be more than angle B. Now question 3. Write down the measures of some acute angles. Children, we know that acute angles measure less than 90 degree. So you can write measure of any acute angles. We have taken here 40 degree and 60 degree. And measure of some obtuse angles. Obtuse angles are more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. So we have taken here 110 degree and 145 degree. You can write more examples of acute and obtuse angles. Now question number 4. Measure the angles given below using the protractor and write down the measure. So here you have to use the protractor and measure the angles and write them. But be sure that the midpoint or the center point of the protractor coincides with the vertex of each angle. Alright, and you make sure that zero line and the arm of the base arm of the angle, it coincides. And the solution for this is A measures 45 degree, B measures 125 degree obtuse angle, C is 90 degree, it is a right angle, and in D we have 3 angles. Angle 1, we have named them angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. Angle 1 measures 60 degree, angle 2 measures 90 degree and angle 3 measures 125 degree. You can also measure them using a protractor and write their measures. Now question number 5. Which angle has a large measure? First estimate and then measure. So first you have to look at the angles and decide which one is the larger one. By looking at them we can understand that angle B is the larger one. Now when we measure them using a protractor, we find that angle A is 40 degree and angle B is 65 degree. This is 40 degree and this is 65 degree. Now question number 7. Fill in the blanks with acute, obtuse, right or straight. Now A, an angle whose measure is less than that of a right angle is called an acute angle. B, an angle whose measure is greater than that of a right angle is obtuse angle, but it should be less than 180 degree. C, an angle whose measure is the sum of the measures of 2 right angles is called a straight angle. A straight angle measures 180 degree, which is equal to 2 right angles. D, when the sum of the measures of 2 angles is that of a right angle, then each one of them is an acute angle, isn't it? When 2 angles form a right angle, that means when the sum of 2 angles is right angles, then each one will be less than right angle, that means each one will be an acute angle. E, when the sum of the measures of 2 angles is that of a straight angle, and if one of them is acute, then the other should be an obtuse angle. Okay, so when the sum of 2 angles is 180 degree and one is acute, then the other will be obtuse angle. Question number 8. Question 8. Find the measure of the angle shown in each figure. First we have to estimate with eyes and then find the actual measurement of the angle with a protractor. By looking at them we can understand that this is an acute angle, this is obtuse, this is an acute angle and this is an obtuse angle. When we actually measure them, then we find that this is 40 degree angle, this is 130 degree angle, this is 65 degree and this is 135 degree angle. You can use your protractor and actually measure the angles and find their measures. Question 9. Find the angle measure between the hands of the clock in each figure. So here in first one, 9 am, when the clock shows 9 am, then what angle it shows? It shows a 90 degree angle. This is a 90 degree angle. And when the clock shows 1 pm, then it is 30 degree angle. And when the clock shows 6 pm, that means it's a straight line, that means it's a 180 degree angle, 2 right angles. Now here in question number 11, measure and classify each angle. So in this figure we have 4 angles and we have to measure each of them and classify them. That means we have to name them. Now angle AOB, the first one is angle AOB. Angle AOB, AOB is this one, it is 40-degree angle. Then angle AOC, angle AOC and angle AOB, first one is 40-degree, means it is an acute angle. Now second one, angle AOC, angle AOC is this one and its measure is 125 degree and it is an obtuse angle. Now third one, angle BOC, angle BOC is this angle, it is 85-degree angle. Then comes angle DOC, angle DOC is this one, it measures 140 degree. This is DOA, it is 140 degree. This angle is DOA, which is 140 degree, and angle DOC is this one, angle DOC, this is 95 degree, 95 degree angle. Angle DOA is 140 degree. Angle DOB is a straight line, DOB, this angle, angle DOB is this angle, it is 180 degree angle. Let's understand once again. Angle AOB is 40 degree, it is an acute angle. Angle AOC is this angle, angle AOC is this angle, it is 125 degrees, it is on obtuse angle. Then angle BOC, angle BOC is this one, it is 85 degree angle. Angle DOC is this one, angle DOC, it is 95 degree angle, so it is an obtuse angle. Then angle DOA, angle DOA is 140 degree, angle DOA is 140 degrees, it is obtuse angle. Then comes angle DOB, angle DOB is a straight line and this is 180 degree angle, it is a straight angle. Now we will learn the next concept, that is about the perpendicular lines. What are perpendicular lines? When two lines intersect and the angle between them is a right angle, then the lines are said to be perpendicular. Okay, so if we have two lines which are intersecting and the angle formed between them is a right angle, then they are called perpendicular lines. Okay, so here we have an example, line AB, this line is perpendicular to line CD, this line, because the angle formed here is 90 degree angle. Now perpendicular bisector, what is perpendicular bisector? A perpendicular bisector means, we know that when two lines intersect and form an angle of 90 degree, form 90 degree angles, then they are said to be perpendicular to each other. What is a perpendicular bisector? Bisector means when a line divides a line segment into two equal parts, then it is called a bisector. So perpendicular bisector, let us understand this by taking this example. Let PQ be a line segment. Here PQ is this one, we have a line segment here PQ, and S this the midpoint. Midpoint means PQ is divided into two equal parts, that means PS is equal to SQ, PS will be equal to SQ, this will be equal to this, and let RS be a line perpendicular to PQ. RS is a perpendicular which is a line which is perpendicular to PQ and it passes through the midpoint S. That means it divides the line segment PQ into two equal parts. Then RS will be called a perpendicular bisector of PQ. Now coming to exercise 5.5, problem number 1. Which of the following are models for perpendicular lines? A. The adjacent edges of tabletop. Yes, they form 90-degree angle. Yes, they are perpendicular lines. B. The lines of a railway track. No, the lines of railway track are parallel. They are not perpendicular. C. The line segment forming the letter L. Yes, they are perpendicular lines. D. The letter V. No, they are not perpendicular. Question number 2. Let PQ be the perpendicular to the line segment XY. Let PQ and XY intersect at point A. What is the measure of PAY? So we have a line segment XY. This is the line segment XY, and PQ is perpendicular to this line segment XY. Okay, and they intersect at point A. What is the question? What is the measure of PAY? So what is the measure of this angle? Angle PAY. We know that when a line is a perpendicular to the other line segment or line, they form 90-degree angles. So measure of angle PAY will be equal to 90 degree. Question number 3. There are 2 set squares in your box. What are the measures of the angles that are formed at the corners of the set squares? Do they have any angle measure that is common? Now children, you have this instrument, these instruments, set squares in your box. You can find them. What are the measures of the angles that are formed at their corners? You have the set squares of different sizes, isn't it? So what are the angles formed at their corners? We can find out that the measure of angles of one set square, that means the bigger one, okay, it has 30 degree and 60 degree and 90 degree. This one is the 90 degree angle, okay, and the smallest set square has a measure of the angles 45 degree and one angle which is 90 degree. Okay, and what is the common angle between them? The common measure is 90 degree. 90 degree angle is common to both the set squares. Now coming to question number 4, study the diagram. The line L is perpendicular to line M. Here in this diagram, line L, this line is perpendicular to line M. Okay, to line M, or we can say that line M is perpendicular to line L. So first question is CE equal to EG? CE is this one and EG is this one. So the question is CE equal to EG? We can see that CE is equal to 2 units. CE is 2 units. Similarly, EG is also 2 units. So CE is equal to EG. Now next question is, does PE bisect CG? Does PE bisect CG? That means, does PE bisect CG? Does this one PE bisect CG? CG is this one. Okay. Yes, CE is equal to EG. That means we can say that PE is bisecting CG, isn't it? That's what we have given here. Since CE and EG equal to 2 units, CE is equal to EG and both are 2 units. So we can say that PE bisects CG. Now C, identify any 2 line segments for which PE is the perpendicular bisector. That means we have to identify 2 line segments which are divided into 2 equal parts by PE. Okay. So let's see. Let's look at the figure again. So, which are the two line segments which are divided into two equal parts by PE, by this one? So, we can see that BH is the line segment which is BH is the line segment which is equally divided into two parts, isn't it? Here we have 3 units and here also we have 3 units. So, BH is the line segment which is divided into two equal parts by PE, and another one we can take DF. DF is also a line segment which is divided into two equal parts by PE. So, we can take BH and DF as the two line segments for which PE is the perpendicular bisector. Now, D, are these true? We have to look at the figure and decide. First one, AC is greater than FG. Where is AC? AC is this one. Is it greater than FG? Yes, by looking at the figure we can say, isn't it? AC is equal to 2 units, whereas FG is only 1 unit. So, that is true. AC is greater than FG. Second one, CD is equal to GH. This is CD and this is GH. Both are of 1 unit. Okay, both consist of 1 unit. That means it is true. 3, BC is less than EH. So, BC is less than EH. By looking at the figure, we can understand BC is 1 unit, whereas EH is 3 units, 1, 2 and 3 units. So, obviously, BC is less than EH. So, this is true. Children, with this, we end this session. In the coming session, we are going to solve more problems of the upcoming exercises. Thank you.